I used to be in the military and the training camp bunk that we lived in was said to be haunted. Occasionally, our stuff would go missing and reappear in weird places, like under our bed, or inside a bag that we had zipped up and stuff. No big deal, right? I mean, human error and all. Then came the instance that freaked everyone out. It was one night after lights out and my friend was on his phone texting his girlfriend. Most of us were drifting off to sleep, and were lying on our beds etc. Suddenly, he heard the shuffling of feet from the corridor, so thinking that it was our sergeant, he quickly hid his phone under his pillow, rolled over on his side and pretended to sleep. Till this day, what happens next chills me to the bone. While he pretended to sleep, he heard someone right behind him, at the other side of his bed going, "Don't worry, you can continue to pretend sleep." I would dismiss this as a figment of his imagination, except about 5 other people around him heard it as well, including me. Creepier still, there was no one there, and it was the voice of a little girl that said it. For reference, our training camp was in the middle of an island, and was set up away from the main admin blocks. The island has been closed by the government for army training purposes for the past 15 years, so there were definitely no civilians around, let alone kids. To make matters freakier, when we came back from our weekend home leave, there was a bunch of female hair on his bed, neatly bundled up, long and jet black. Under his pillow was a note, "Remember me?" Now, as I said, we were in the middle of a forest, in the middle of an island. And at that point in time, there were no female recruits, personnel on the island. Our bunks were locked up for the weekend and the duty sergeant had no idea that the incident happened. We never spoke about it after that night. Still chills me to the bone thinking about it. Yes guys, I am from Singapore. And as those of you guys who are from there would know, until recently, army camps in Singapore did not allow handphones with cameras, so no pictures. Also, for those of you that say it may be a prank, yes it very well may have been, but if it were, it'd be one heck of a prank and I was really fooled bad. The complexity of that prank would have been crazy and I applaud anyone that was able to pull that off. That being said, many Singaporean guys will tell you that the camp, Tekong, is a place where a lot of paranormal stuff happens. Most guys that have been through that camp have either experienced something firsthand, or know someone that has experienced it firsthand. Lastly, for those of you saying I fabricated the whole thing, my job is not to convince you, I'm simply relating what the heck happened to me and my army buddies. Believe what you will, but I know what happened to me. My mom died. A few months after her death, I was at her house that she shared with my grandma. Mom lived downstairs and grandma lived upstairs. I was babysitting my baby nephew while my sisters went out somewhere. He was asleep in the crib downstairs, with the light off and the door closed. I was upstairs reading a book while my grandma watched some TV. I heard footsteps and figured my nephew had managed to get out of his crib and was wandering around, so I went downstairs to get him. No, he was still fast asleep in his crib. Okay, I was hearing things, maybe it was the TV, whatever. I went back upstairs to my book. It happened again about half an hour later, but also with the door squeaking. Okay, I definitely heard that, so I went downstairs to get him up. No, still completely passed out, and he isn't the type of kid to get up and go back to sleep instantly. Shook it off, went back upstairs. Grandma had gotten a phone call and muted the TV because she's pretty deaf, so I know without a shadow of a doubt that this next part was not the TV. I heard footsteps going down the hallway towards where the baby was sleeping, then a soft coo. I made my way downstairs and he was still asleep, but I just burst into tears because I just felt like my mom was there. In my heart, I knew she was saying goodbye to her only grandbaby. My sister gets spooked with paranormal stuff and didn't want to sleep there that night, but I just told her that it was mom, and she was just there to say goodbye.